My name's Bardos, and I'm the owner and operator of Bardos Total Works. Talk about artwork, which I've been seriously making since around 2009. Today, I'm here to talk about frequency weapons. And why am I here to talk about frequency weapons? Because about 2 springs ago, in 2024, around April, I noticed back in my old home in Boston, around Boston, Massachusetts anyway, not literally in the city, it was around the city, but I noticed there was a constant high-pitched tone floating around the background of my home and my environment, the one that I had already had my legal business attached to, and the one that I was using to work and attempt to build a business. All of a sudden, I noticed this high-pitched noise start creeping up in the background of my environment. Lo and behold, after months of investigative work, it ends up being a part of the radiator of the heating system, in which something was put in and installed that was then being controlled remotely by someone and probably some computer in order to turn a constant noise on in my environment. Now, I have a full video explaining how this all started and the beginning trajectories of why any of this might even be occurring, because the average person is going to look at what I'm about to say and think I'm either crazy or eccentric or I'm telling a story or it's just a fucking AI video and it's just blah, 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 blah. It's just a bunch of AI fucking slop. And it's not. So I'm going to link the video somewhere in here that I posted a couple months ago in an effort to bring awareness to what was happening to me, mostly to get it to stop, because I don't want to be assaulted with frequency weapons in my apartment and my business and my car and places I frequent. And it's I record this stuff. You can record it. It's not just some random, it's not tinnitus. It's not my ears. It's not a condition I have. It's not anything that you can pick out of a chart. It's a little tiny device that is being remote controlled by somebody sitting on a computer somewhere. That's it. That's what it is. That's what it all is. It's a tiny little device that's getting a signal sent to it by somebody on a fucking computer somewhere. And I'm giving an update because I want to show people exactly what happened after I put this video up. And it's not only that, but the actual collected evidence. Like, I'll show you at least how many recordings I have in this video. I'm not going to go through all of them and have everyone listen to every single second of it, because it's days and weeks of actual physical recordings. And at this point, it's almost 700 days straight of being attacked with a frequency weapon in some form or fashion. Every single day, I'm being attacked by this thing, at least for an hour or two. For some reason, somebody says a line in a movie, and all of a sudden, the machine gets upset and needs to start attacking me for it. As far as I know, somebody is stepping on one of their toes in Alaska somewhere, and they're just turning it around and taking it out on me as if I'm their animal that they abuse whenever they get upset. It's ridiculous. But we're going to go through that in this video, and I'm going to continue to explain what is happening to me, because this is certainly happening to other people. There is no way that I'm the only one experiencing something like this right now. And I'm going to continue to make people more aware of it, so they can do less to people, because this is insane. What they're doing is insane. And by they, I mean whatever group of people or individuals is, one, focused and targeted on me or other people doing this, and then anyone who's backing them up, anybody who is enabling them. That is what I mean when I say them or they right now. And I know there's plenty of anecdotes of certain governments creating an us and them kind of scenario in which to split people apart. But I'm here to tell you that the us and them scenario was created a long time ago. To ignore it is just to allow the divisiveness to seep into a false unity that the divisiveness is actually taking advantage of to divide people more continuously. So we're not going to do that. But we're going to show you exactly, apparently, in modern day America, 2025, 2026, which honestly, looking at the news, nobody is probably going to be very fucking surprised that this is happening right now. Although it's probably going to be surprising that it's not more, you're not hearing about it anywhere. But that's just because people don't realize how much of a controlled propaganda system they all live in right now. Even this is going to get banned, swept under the rug, for at least now, like it is, especially if I put it on YouTube, like, but I just don't really care, because obviously me doing nothing is not changing what's happening. Me standing up against them is not changing what's happening. I can literally do what they want, and they'll still attack me. There is no, they're just going to do it. So if there's no other option, if they're leaving you no choice, if they are just attacking you to attack you, and no matter what you say, they're going to find something to physically assault you with, then expose it. Stand up for yourself. Talk about it. Don't just be quiet about it in any way, shape, or form. Like, you can go online, you can write. You don't have to talk about it. You can text. Do a little keyboard action. Type about it. That's talking, technically. You're communicating an idea from one person to another. And yeah, it's probably going to get swept into the internet mechanism that exists right now, but at least you're fucking trying. Every little bit adds up. That is the mentality of the people who are actively assaulting people right now. They are penny pinchers. Every little bit adds up to these people. Every little bit of hatred, every little bit of time they can get to waste for other people that they don't like, that is what they consider is enabling them to do this to people. And that's why they're doing this. And they will continue to do it. So anybody who disagrees with what's happening right now in this country, in the United States, you should penny pinch your outrage. Penny pinch your opinions. Every little thing that you see that you don't like, tell them. Because they don't like it when you tell them. They don't want you to talk about how terrible they are, or that you don't approve of what they're doing. They don't want that. That upsets them. That does the same thing to them that they're trying to do to everybody else. So that's my recommendation, at least. But this is all the evidence and a more in-depth explanation of what has happened since I've been exposing them. So I don't know if I've showed this publicly. This is the block of physical recordings I have from April till about the middle of August. This would have been at the place that I lived before this, which I'm actually going to do some sort of special on at some point. The place is called Sonoran Flats. Sonoran Flats is in northern Phoenix, northern Arizona. I am no longer under an NDA, being under their lease. Their lease, if you have a lease signed with them, you're not legally allowed to talk bad about them, or else they'll be able to terminate your lease. So at some point, I'm going to do a full-on expose of this place because the place itself, I don't believe, was responsible for causing the situation that allowed somebody to implant some device in the air conditioning system there. What they did to make it worse and basically impossible situation was they refused to look at it. They refused to take care of the situation. They assumed that I was either crazy, homeless, just an asshole, before they even really stopped to try to question what I was trying to tell them. Basically, when I went up to them after paying them rent for months and trying to be as amicable as possible with them, they told me to go fuck myself. So I told them I was in an apartment. I had moved into an apartment that I could not live in because it was not, I couldn't live in it. The sound coming out of the air conditioning system in Sonoran Flats was so bad that I had to, once again, wear headphones all the time, or not be in the apartment, or Like it was loud as shit. You could hear it. I was recording it. And eventually the apartment complex and the manager and basically the entire maintenance staff told me to go fuck myself. This was after simply just standing there and trying to get somebody to come look at it. They spent weeks and months of bullshitting me through email, bullshitting me around, basically just taking weeks and adding it on to whatever maintenance work needed to be done. They kept dropping my emails. They kept shifting on whether they were showing up. They constantly told me they were going to show up at a certain time and constantly did not show up at that certain time. The door was so bent in I had to add an extra lock onto it. Like, there was so many issues with the last place that I had. But essentially I was paying them money to live there. And when I said that it was impossible to live there because of things that I was showing them direct evidence of in person. Mind you, I didn't send all of this to them. I didn't send all of this to them because it got to a point to where I realized that the apartment complex itself and the people who were running maintenance were so shitty that it wasn't even worth it to put up a legal battle to try to stay there. And what ended up happening is that I actually left. I had to legally break the lease. I had to legally pay money to leave. They forced me to pay them to back out of the lease after they proceeded to not do the correct work. And then they essentially created a situation to where whoever was going to move in after me was going to have the same fucking problem, or they were going to wait until I left and then fix the problem. There was only those two options. So whatever it was, they were being terrible, shitty people. And luckily for me, I had help. I was able to get enough money to get out of there without having to pay fees, a lawyer, or just fucking leave. And I had help, luckily. People don't have help. These people who are responsible for providing you with a home they don't give a shit. They would rather, they don't care whether you live in a rotting dump or a mansion as long as you pay them what's in their lease. They don't care. And even after the fact, if they don't like you for whatever reason, they'll still try to find some way to fuck you with creditors and other things like that. And it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But these are... So I just thought of the past 4 months of my fucking life in this place. 4 or 5 months. It was 6 months in total, but anyway. So this is all recordings. These are all physical recordings. I ended up buying a professional grade field recorder, which is one of those handheld microphones. I don't know. I don't have it directly in front of me right now. But I bought it partly to do this because the sound had followed me across the country. So I bought it partly to expose whatever was happening here. But I mostly bought it for work with music. I was going to go out and record sounds, make loops and produce music with recordings that I have around the area or just around my home. And I haven't done that even a single time because every single day I'm being attacked with a frequency weapon. Every single day, that frequency weapon and whoever is assaulting me with it is taking precedent over anything else. And it's obviously by design. Like, they're obviously trying to do that. And the only issue is apparently that they're hiding the fact that they're doing this from other people. That's really the issue. But every single one of these recordings go up to 45 minutes. They're 32-bit. They're basically the highest definition recordings you can have. Each of these is a singular recording that I was sitting in this apartment listening to a frequency weapon attack me. Or I left it on overnight as I was sleeping. That happens more recently, but each of these is a recording. Each one of these is a singular recording. I'm not going to try to play this specific project because it will crash because there's too much audio. But there is a July-August cutout that I have moved these over, which we can... Like, this is what the recordings sound like. This was just playing. Recording of high-pitched noise from the air conditioner. Recording of high-pitched noise from the air conditioner. So this is what a lot of these recordings are. It's me stepping up, turning on the field recorder, saying this is the sound in the vent, and then leaving the recorder running in the background. That's what a lot of these recordings are, if not most of them. You can't really pick out the high-pitched frequency unless you selectively pick it out, or you know what you're listening for. But it is buried in almost every single one of these recordings. And in order to do that, you pick out an EQ, which you can cut out the low frequencies, so all that low sound on the end. And all you have to do is turn on an EQ with a little bit of boost in the high-pitched frequencies and maybe a little gain to make up for just how high-pitched the sound actually is. Most people's ears can't really pick up past a certain point. But this is all you have to do. You just turn on the filter, and if you sit there, if you turn the volume up on your speaker loud enough, if you sit there and really listen, you can pick out what I'm talking about. If you're familiar with what I'm talking about, then you can very easily pick out what I'm talking about. And there is certainly a tone right now in the background of this video as I'm talking over it. So these are all recordings of this. Just this background noise of a small device implanted in my air conditioning system. This was all from one place. So I have, let's see here. I have way more recordings of the place I'm in right now. And I'm just gonna show you how much this actually is. So this right now is 900 gigabytes. This is recordings taken within the past 3 months, and this is actually missing about probably 400 to 500 more gigabytes of overflow recordings that I have to show on Ubuntu, because I can't even afford the amount of hard drive space that it takes to store all of the evidence that these people have given me. Every day that they do this to me that I'm recording, they are giving me evidence for what they are doing. And I'll be more specific, because it wasn't 900 gigabytes complete. That was the entire audio here. So Zoom transfers, these are all recordings of where I currently live. This is about half of the recordings, probably a little more. So 786 gigabytes. Not the full 900. Sorry. Only 780 gigabytes. So right now I have close to 2 terabytes. 2 terabytes of evidence of high quality recordings. Let me turn this shit off. High quality recordings that you can hear. You can pick it apart. You can bring this into a courtroom with a audio specialist, and the audio specialist will be like, yeah, there's a noise happening. There's something in the background. Like, I could bring this to court. If I was able to bring this to court, which the only reason I haven't is because it costs fucking money to bring this to court. And I don't have money myself. I have no access to money right now. I'm accepting aid and help from my parents. I'm accepting aid and help from family right now. The few family that I feel like I have no choice but to bring into this, because they're already a part of it, because they were at the house that this started at. But nobody else I'm bringing into this. And I have so much evidence against these people. So much evidence showing that they have been doing this in my apartment. And they, for some reason, keep doing it every day. Which only shows that they have a certain level of audacity to believe that they will get away with this indefinitely. As in, nobody could possibly do anything to stop them from torturing people with sound in their own homes, in their own houses. Right now I pay for an apartment. I'm paying for this apartment, and I'm being tortured in it. Prison is a better deal than what this is. they don't have to pay for prison. Prisoners get there for free. I'm actually paying prisoners' food right now, and then also paying the rent and property tax of the place I live in, and then also being tortured at it. This is in my car, a brand new car they did this to. Right now, it's hitting the more that I am starting to go to frequent places around where I live, like supermarkets, like places that any normal person would go to consistently if they lived at a certain spot, those places are now having high-pitched noises coming out of them. The supermarket I go to has a high-pitched noise that now follows me around the store. And what this is it's utilities workers who are posing under the guise of doing some sort of random utilities work at these places. Like it's the light fixture dudes who come in and have to repair some of the lights up in the ceiling. All of a sudden one of your lights goes out. You're fluorescent and you have to get an electrician in to wire it. All of a sudden that electrician attaches a tiny little fucking mechanism up in that light, and now they can assault anybody that goes in your store. That's what's happening. And it's happening fucking everywhere. Alright, so I'm here on my Ubuntu operating system just to show you the extra overflow I have. It's about 448 gigabytes. So this is all stuff from this apartment that I'm in right now. This, I think, is mostly December. Most of December. Yeah, so there is quite a bit of actual audio recordings. And you'll notice how much time has passed, at least between the beginning of this video and at least right now. This is a perfect example of just how I have to go out of my way to confront and deal with this and end up wasting massive amounts of my own time. The people who are doing this are already wasting their time by doing it in the first place, but this is a really good example of that. Like, I've had a licensed business for 6 years now, and I am not profitable whatsoever. I have no customer base. I have no consistent voice or reach whatsoever. And it's primarily because I was shadow banned online for almost going on 5 years ago now. That combined with the internet network throttling that was happening to my internet back around Boston, which I actually had to open 2 FBI complaints for cyber terrorism because I was being terrorized. I was being threatened and coerced by having my network attacked and my business attacked and my ability to make money attacked, stopped, completely brick-walled. Hours and days and weeks just wasted, just waiting for pages to reload. So that is a lot of what this ends up being. It's wasted time. And I wanted to add so what happened after I made a video about this. I made a long video about this, about what started this, the source of this. As far as I can tell, it has to do with a broken relationship from a old acquaintance's family. As far as I can tell, that's exactly still what is happening here. But I made a long video about this maybe like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. It was after I moved into this new place. And after I put that video up, they didn't stop attacking me. I didn't think they would. But it actually, it and everything else, society started amping up. Things started getting really riled up. There was a sort of pickup. There was a sort of momentum towards negativity that I saw pick up very much in time with when I put that video out. Once again, I didn't put that out thinking it would stop anything. I knew they were going to continue attacking me, and they did. And they continue to attack me even to this day. I ended up, a couple weeks ago, I put in a complaint to the FBI not about cyber terrorism, although it was connected to those two tickets. It was about the sound, because the sound has been going on for almost 2 years now. It's consistent enough, and not only that, but it's connected to the other complaints because the sound is being turned on and off depending on my comments on social media platforms. And the other two complaints are for cyber terrorism, tracking people hacking into my computer, following me around, stopping my services, denying me services online. That is what the complaints are open for, and the sound now is being tuned and turned on and off in direct correlation with things I'm posting online, which means that it is it's fairly safe to say that it's the same people. It's fairly safe to say it's a continuation of the same treatment of the same exact people that somehow banned me online. And as a general scope, just so people understand what I mean by what it is to be banned online like this, like, I've had a licensed business for 6 years. They will not give me reach. And by reach, I mean my posts, my accounts are in black holes. I could make a brand new account on a platform tomorrow, and it will be black holed without having input a single post. It'll already be gone. It's a wall. It's just a fucking wall for people to put people they consider undesirable behind. And if you happen to have a little whisper in the ear of one of the people who's holding one of the remotes, then you can basically just stop anybody from existing at this point. You can stop licensed businesses. Like, the government and the country told me that I could operate a business. I had the same right to operate a business as any of the companies that I was operating the platforms on, or on their platforms. And that's just not true. And if it doesn't hold true, if it doesn't hold true for one person or one situation, then it's not true at all. Then what the fuck's the point? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I went out of my way to follow the rules to a T with business because it's supposed to be like that. And it's just not. It's not at all. It's really disheartening to see. I hope the scope of business changes so this, it's going to need to. I mean, people are fed up. You can look around. People are fed up. Like, corporations told us they don't care. They haven't cared since COVID. Like, they just have not. They've been absent. Their humanity left with COVID. The vaccines came and vaccinated their humanity away too. I have no idea. Yeah. So apparently, speaking your voice in America, going online, an American corporations, basically an American internet, and everyone knows that America, like, you don't even have to start spitting out the Constitution. You just have to say America, and it's supposed to stand for freedom. And right now, you say America, and it doesn't. Not only does it not stand for freedom, but it's actively attacking it at every single point it can find. It's trying to find truth and just dishevel it and throw it in a ditch somewhere and hope nobody notices it's dying. It's just it's a matter of time, really, before it all collapses. And it's one reason why, like, you may notice why I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here claiming I'm being tortured every day. And yet I can still sit here and talk and communicate and almost feign some sort of normalcy. But that's me. That's me. That's just me as a person. That's my personality. I went through shitty things when I was younger, and I gained this mentality that, no matter what happens, you might as well just fucking see what happens. It's going to be interesting anyway. It might be shitty, but it'll be interesting. if you're gonna fucking die anyway, which everyone is gonna die anyway, you may as well see where it goes. That's my conclusion at this point that I've come to. So that's why I'm still sitting here. That's why I'm still sitting here almost laughing at these people for trying to do this. This is stuff that you can find. It would be easier on the darknet to find this, but you can find reports of people reporting and hearing sounds that start happening in their houses or around them that they can't find or control, and all of a sudden they either go crazy, or they go crazy and they hurt somebody, or they go crazy and they hurt themselves. You can see this stuff. You can see it if you look for it. And it's just a note, I guess, to how strong or how overwhelmingly, what's the right word? Omnipotent? Omnipotent? I don't know how to pronounce that correctly right now, but it's like, it seems so impossible to get past. Like, it's such a total blockade. But it's not. Like, this shit's collapsing in front of everybody. It's all collapsing. So, like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this as a bit of an explanation for myself, maybe a bit of a venting, because once again, this is years of my life that they are taking from me. And while I'm practicing and developing in the background, and they could claim that they're helping me in that case, but that's insane. It's like claiming that Hitler helped us get better at fighting because we had to stop him, so we should thank him. That's insane. That's not a reasonable way to think. That's not logical. You can do that. You can twist anything around like that. You learned a lesson from it? Well, I helped you. I abused you your whole life. Did you learn something from it? You're welcome. Come on. Like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, we just all get to watch this collapse. And I'm going to stop this video before I start rambling, because it'll happen. And I'm going to prepare to go continue making music and vend and make artwork, despite these people being everything that's antithesis to anything that's creative whatsoever, or pleasant, or happy, or genuine, or honest. They aren't fans, apparently. They're not fans. But everybody, take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves and be careful, because while it may seem like there are jokes flying around everywhere, everything is quite deadly serious right now. And it's been that way for years. It is like that. And people should live like that and be prepared for that. And I think they'll be able to find semblance of enjoyment and actual genuine process of growth through that, through these really, honestly, very dark times that we're living in, at least right now.